Okay, so we're on 6.8 now, and your assignment for 6.8 on page 215 was all the practice problems and then the odds on the problem solving. So we'll talk about it, then I'll put the 6.9 assignment up.
That's why I was a little confused. I was working on
Okay, so finding the median. The median if you have a big highway, the median is the part in the middle, right? Isn't that what the median is in a highway? So maybe that can help you remember if you forget what these words mean, that the median, which is what we're talking about in this lesson, is the middle number. Anybody remember how we find the median if we have a list of numbers?
You have to put them in the order where they go from least to greatest.
Yeah, put in order, least to greatest first. So that would be the first step you do. Not, how about I spell greatest right? I do know how to spell it. My brain is just not spelling. And then what do you do after that?
Then you look for the one in the middle.
You look for the one in the middle. If it's odd, there is just one in the middle, right? You can actually literally, if you want to, take your fingers and count in like this until your finger's on the same number if it's odd and you know it's the middle number. So there's one middle number. What do you do if there's an even amount of numbers? Let's say I had 8 numbers. How would I find the median? Because there's not one middle number. The 2 middle, yeah, and you add them and you divide by 2, right? So you take the 2, if there's an even number, take the 2 middle numbers, and basically aren't you averaging them, right? So we take the 2 middle numbers and average them. This is a statistic that you'll see used a lot by people who are trying to convince you to buy something, or maybe somebody who's studying have you ever heard this? The median priced home in Austin is some ridiculously high number because Austin's housing prices are so high. So this is what they're doing. They're basically taking a list of all the home prices. Now, a computer's probably calculating this because you know somebody's not going to list that many numbers. And then they're just coming to the middle number. So if we want to look at, let me pick one that's number 4, for instance. On page 216, number 4, the numbers are 78, 77, 79, 81, 76, 77, and 83. And let's see, if we put them in order, the lowest one looks like it's 76, and then I got a 77, and here's another 77, so I got to write it down twice. 78 would come next. Did I get that 77? Yeah, I did. After 78, 79, and then 81 and 83. I'm going to recount my numbers just to make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got them all, didn't I? Let me make sure. Yeah, it's 83 on the end. That mark, that was an 83, and somehow my mark didn't go straight when I marked through it. So if I want to find the middle number, I'm going to use a colored pencil, colored marker to cross them out. Those are the 2 last numbers, right? So I cross that set out. Here's a pair to cross out. Here's a pair to cross out. I've got one middle number, and it is 78. That is the median. What's the difference between median and mode? Because the next section's on the mode, so this will help us practice that too. What would the mode be here? What does mode mean?
like the highest or the lowest number?
It's that, okay, so you're thinking range there. For range, you take the highest number minus the lowest number, right? And the mode, it starts with M-O. That means, it means the one that's the most. Good, the most number that occurs the most, right? So think mode most. If you think of that M-O at the beginning, it can help you remember most. What number would have been the mode here? 77, because it occurred twice, right? Nothing else was written more than once, just 77. Okay, let's do one that has an even. That was an odd amount of numbers, and we had one middle number. What about, let's look at number 9. 9 is, if we list the numbers, 29, 27, 29, 23, 24, 29, 28, 25. You can put them in order if you want to, but you don't have to because you're looking for the one that occurs the most. Did you notice which one kept showing up? 29, right? There's 1, 2, 3 29s, and I don't think any of the other numbers were duplicated at all, were they? So here my mode would be 29 if I were talking about mode. Now this is actually a section on median though. So what do I have to do if I actually want to do the median, which is what's going on here? Put them in order. Okay, so what's the smallest one? 23. So let's see, 23. Yeah, 23, 24, 25. Let me mark those off so I can get them out of my... Yeah, 27. And then there's the 28. So let me write them down and I'm going to mark them off. And now all the 29s, right? 3 of them. So 29, 29, 29. So just putting them in order. And now let's find the middle number, which is the median, which is what I'm really doing in this section. I'm looking for the middle number. Okay, so I mark that pair off, right? One at the beginning and one at the end. Then I mark the next pair off. And I just kind of keep going. Now I'll mark this 25 and this 29 off. I'm just going toward the middle, aren't I? And now, if I mark those off, there's no numbers left. So I have 2 middle numbers. So what I want to do is average them. Now, in this case, you could probably figure out what the middle number is without doing the whole formula for averaging. Is it halfway between 27 and 28 on the number line? Isn't it halfway between 27.5 or 27 and a half? So if you can see it, you don't have to sit and write it all out and put that work down. If you can just see that it's going to be 27 and a half, just write it down. You know how number lines work, so sometimes you can do it without doing the math. If I need to do the math because maybe it's just not coming to me what the number would be, it's just add them together and divide by 2. We're just averaging. So that's going to be what? 55 divided by 2. And if you could get your calculator out, I'll just come over here. 2 there goes into there 2 times. That's 4. 2 goes into 15 7 times. That's 14 with 1 left over. So it would be 1 over 2, 27 and a half, right? And you can write 27.5 if you want to here. It doesn't matter. The book, if you're checking your work, they're using decimals. If you just want to put it in the decimal form, since that's what the book does, it makes it easier to check your work. But you could write a fraction if you like fractions better.
I put it in decimal.
You put it in a decimal. Okay.
That's how my calculator does it, so that's how I'm doing it.
Now, when you get into Algebra 1, we actually solve equations, you kind of got to get okay with fractions. But you know what? We're not there right now, and decimals work just fine here, so it's fine for now. And it's for your own good, even though you won't believe me when I tell you to do it. Now, what do you do? I'm kind of moving now into 6.9, finding the mode. What do you do if no number is missing? Is repeated more than once. For instance, number 3. 27, 23. This is on page 217. Your assignment for 6.9, in case you don't have your RenWeb, is all of the practice problems, which is only 6 problems, and then the sharpening skills. It didn't even say you had to do the problem solving, so you don't have to do them. So number 3, let me write down the numbers, 27, 23, 22, 29, 28, and 19. Your book tells you to go ahead and put them in order, and I think that's just so that you can catch it if there's a number in the list more than once and you just don't notice it. But honestly, you don't have to put them in order. This is the one case you don't have to put them in order, right? So what would be, is there any number there that's repeated? No. So if there's no number repeated, what do you say? Right. No number repeated, so there is no mode. No number appears more than any other number, so we'll just put no mode. None is fine too. Yeah, means the same thing, right? Huh?
Can you put NA?
That'd be okay. Yeah, I would know what you meant. I would know what you meant if you said